what's up? Welcome back to our channel, The Virtual Wholesalers. Today we are in Pigeon Forge. We've been here for the week. We are on spring break with the kids, and today's Gray's birthday, so we are going to go around the mountain and do something fun today for him. But anyway, before we do that, we wanted to come to you with this video. Today we're going to talk about the ugly truth to cold calling. So many times, you know, a lot of people don't want to shed light on the reality of how hard cold calling is, or the monotony of it. It's not necessarily hard, it's just there is an ugly side to it. As profitable as it can be and as amazing as the assignment fees can be, there is still an ugly truth to it. And we wanted to go into it today in hopes to kind of give you guys that are out there in the field and actually doing this every day. We wanted to give you some hope and let you know that we've been there and we know what it's like. And right now we have VAs doing our cold calling, but before that we actually did it ourselves. And we wanted to shed some light on what you can do to make it easier on yourself and persevere through, especially the beginning of cold calling.
So another thing is when you're out there and you're just starting out in the wholesaling and you're getting on YouTube and you're watching all these videos, there's all these guru after guru after guru that has cold calling videos out there, and they tell you like this is what the perfect sales call is going to sound like, and then they go through their script and they're right. Like, it sounds perfect, it sounds easy, it sounds like, man, this is going to be a complete cakewalk. But they don't ever tell you like the real hard truth of what cold calling is all about. Those calls are not common. They are not, every call that answers, they are not getting a perfect sales call out of it. That's not reality. It's not the way it works. And I think one of the biggest things to burnout is going into cold calling without understanding the real realities of exactly what it looks like and how much of a grind it is and just how much work it really entails. Because literally, if you go on YouTube, all of these guys make it look super, super easy, and it is easy. I mean, it's not like rocket science, but that's not the part that's not easy. The part that's not easy is the actual part in your mind. Like, you gotta, as soon as you can wrap your mind around exactly what cold calling is and what it's gonna take, it will really just, it makes your life so much easier. But going in with the wrong expectations, or not setting the proper expectations going into it, is a perfect way to get burnout and just fail. Yeah, like you'll end up quitting. Like, you get over it so quick.
I think if you've never worked in a call center or like hardcore sales, going into it, you know, like Adam said, watching some of the gurus who are doing it and doing it really well and going into it with high expectations, there's no reason not to have a high expectation, because the assignment fees or the deals that you can get closed to flip are amazing with cold calling. But we just wanted to bring the ugly truth to you, so it sets an expectation so you know not to give up so quickly. Because a lot of people just go in thinking it's going to be like super easy, and they don't really understand. They haven't worked in a call center. They don't understand the sales process and how that can go.
Or not just a call center, like sales in general. Like, it's a complete numbers game. Like, you have to go through a ton of no's in order to get to a yes, which actually brings us to our first point of the day. Is I just want to re-emphasize that it is not going to be all daisies and roses and rainbows and yeses all the time. That is abnormal. You have to sift through so much. You have to speak to so many people and just get through so many no after no after no in order to just get a yes that somebody may be interested in hearing an offer. And then out of those people, there's still, you have to sift through all of those and get to the actual person that's going to be a deal. So I just think that, you know, headed into this thing, you have to get your mind wrapped around that you're going to hear so many more no's than yeses. And I mean, it's an abnormal amount. You really just need to get your head wrapped around that. And I wanted to tell you guys, I read a book, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 years ago, and the book was called Go for No. And in the premise of the book, I think I spoke about it on one of these videos in the past, but the premise of the book is to chase after no's. Like, just get in your head that no is good, because it actually is a good thing. If you look at sales as a numbers game, and you know that you have to get through so many no's in order to get the yes, you should be excited every single time that somebody tells you no, because you know that eventually you are getting closer and closer to getting to the yes. And also, once you know all of your numbers, you can like literally tick off how many no's you're going to get until you get to the yes, and it should statistically even out. So also with all those YouTube videos, the one thing that the thing that they fail to tell you, which is what I think they should be telling you the most, or what they should be coaching you up on the most, is the actual amount of time that it is going to take to get these deals, the amount of hours spent grinding, the amount of calls that they have made, the amount of people that they have spoken to. Like, cold calling, I'll tell you right now, it's not the most fun way to get a lead. Like, it's just, I mean, you're gonna get cussed out, people are gonna hang up on you, they're gonna tell you, you know, your family sucks, blah blah blah, but it's just not the most fun way. So I really think that all the gurus on YouTube or whoever you're learning from, if they're not setting your expectations and not giving you the real realities of what cold calling looks like, they're doing you a very big disservice.
So one of the things we do when we bring on a new cold caller, it's very, very important that you set the expectations. And one of the things we let them know is that this is not personal. I mean, when you're doing cold calling, we're looking for that needle in a haystack, the person who really, really needs to sell, not necessarily wants to sell, but who needs to sell, someone that you can really help in this business.
When we bring them on, we also let them know that this whole thing is not personal. There's going to be a lot of times while they're on the phones and making their calls that people are mad, they're going to let them have it. Like, going into it, that you're probably going to hear some cuss words that you had no clue that even existed. I mean, I've had guys tell me they're going to cut my wrist off, and I'm like, what? And where is this guy even coming from with this? But anyway, those are like the responses that you're going to hear. So you need to go into that mentally knowing that people are going to be pissed. They're gonna tell you that you're sorry piece, you know, you're a terrible person. All of that is part of this game. You're going to hear all of that going into this, and you just need to know to not let it affect you. Like, do not let it, if you're having a great day, which I hope every day in your life is great, you should not let somebody on another end of a phone line that you're calling to actually purchase their house, do not let them affect who you are as a person. I just think you have to keep your mind right about that going in, knowing that, you know, whatever happens on the other end, I'm pretty sure there is going to be some bad things said. I'm not going to let that seep into who I am or how good my day is going today.
And it's easier said than done. I worked in a call center and I had some really bad calls that would just kind of throw me off the entire day. So it's easier said than done, but you have to go in expecting it and setting your mind and expectations. That way you're not caught off guard if you do have a bad call. Yeah,
unlike Shannon, I would not sit on a call. Somebody's going to call and cuss me out. They're going to hear the beep right out of the gate. Like, I'm going to put you in a do not call. We'll never bother you again, and we'll just move on. Like, do not let that get under your skin. And if people start going off on you, literally, if you get anything out of this video, just hit the click button and hang up on them and never bother them again. I mean, they're not the ones, those people are not who you're looking for. They're not the motivated sellers. When you get to a motivated seller, I mean, you're going to hear it. That script that you've been watching every single YouTube video on, that script is going to be so easy. You're going to be like, this is a complete cakewalk. So all those videos, like I said before, they are telling you the truth. That is what a perfect sales call sounds like, and it will sound like that when you get somebody motivated on the other end of the line. They want to give you all their info because they want your help. So that part about it, that part is right. The other part, like what we're talking about now, is the underbelly of cold calling.
We just want to reiterate, cold calling is not easy. It is a grind. It does take work. It takes, you know, the right mindset. I guess I shouldn't say it's not easy, because it's really not hard. It's just monotonous. And, you know, monotony can be good at one level and bad at others.
Yeah, I agree 100% with Shannon. I mean, I think if you go into it knowing that it is going to be a grind, and you get your mind wrapped around that you're going to do whatever it takes in order to get that deal and to get your numbers down and figure out how cold calling works and how to make it work for you and your company, once you get that mindset, you know, I think that it being so much of a grind is a little more, you can handle it a little better because you know you had the proper expectations and you know what to look for moving into it. And just like Shannon said, I think the biggest part about it is repetitious, which, you know, and she said that's good, and it's good in a way that you're going to get better because you're doing the same thing over and over again. So you're obviously, by nature, you should be getting better on every single call. But the bad part about it is it's repetitious, and you're going to be doing the exact same thing every single call. So you just have to have the proper mindset and get yourself mentally prepared. Like, look, I'm about to do the same thing over and over and over again in order to reach my dreams. Like, I mean, getting to where you want to get in life is not easy. Like, this is part of it. I mean, I really think cold calling, it does work. It's just a grind, and you really need to know going into it that it's a hustle. Like, I mean, you're gonna have you got to strap on your pants and get after it. Like, it's not every single call, like we said, is not going to be a deal. It doesn't happen. And you know, if you're cold calling 1 hour a day, the chances of you getting a deal the first month or two are probably not very good. Though it is repetitious, I believe that once you master cold calling, there is pretty much literally nothing you cannot do in the sales world. I mean, you can literally pick up the phone and dial into any company. I mean, there's nobody that I would not call into and just ask for what I want at this point. I really do not care. I think cold calling, you build a muscle to where you honestly, you quit caring what the person on the other end of the line says, and you just ask for what you need or say what you need to say and let it roll. Like, people will either tell you, yeah, I'm interested, or they'll cuss you out or tell you they're not. But anyway, I really just believe, like, once you build that muscle, it's just an invaluable skill set to have for not just wholesaling real estate. I mean, you could go to car sales, whatever type of sales job that you want to go into. I mean, you can literally just pick up the phone and dial in, and it really just opens a ton of doors for you.
I would agree. And I really think the go for no, if you keep that in your mindset when you go into each shift, and just knowing that the more no's you get, right around the corner is the one yes that you'll need. I think that's so super, super important to do.
Yeah, so that brings us to the last thing, and this is just going to show you guys how kind of weird I am. I think in cold calling, you do need to try and find a way to make it fun for yourself. I mean, it's not the most fun, like I said before, but if there's a way that you can make it more fun, I would suggest at least trying it. You can either listen to music while you're making calls, you can listen to Audible, listen to a book. I personally like to listen to Audible or music, and then I also, in my head, I tend to think that I'm fishing, and if I'm on a triple line dialer, that means I have 3 lines out. If I'm on a 7 line dialer, I have 7 lines out in the water. And I mean, I just wait until I get a bite, I look at it. If it's a no, I throw it back. If it's a whale, I reel it in, and we go look at the house. So I really think that if there's a way that you can make this easier on yourself mentally, I would suggest doing it. Try and make it as fun as possible for yourself.
And we don't want this video to be discouraging. We want this to set the right expectations for you. So you know, some people have never ever cold called, and they watch some YouTube videos and they watch them go, other people go through the scripts, and it's super easy. And you're only hearing that one yes call. You're not hearing all the no's. So we just wanted to bring the ugly truth and the underbelly of cold calling to you. So when you start cold calling, you have the right expectations, so you don't give up so quickly, and you understand what it's going to take to get where you need to be. And from experience, we've been there. Like I said, we have VAs doing our cold calling now. But we set the right expectations with them because we've been there. We've seen that it is a grind, and we've seen that you do need to count the no's, and you need to be happy about the no's, because the no's are what are going to take you to the yeses.
Yeah. Real quick, to bounce off that topic, we even tell our VAs, listen, this is a grind, so get yourself mentally prepared for it. We tell them all the exact same things we just told you. We tell our VA as well, like, look, it's not personal. I mean, their VAs are just as human as you and me. I just think you should not only set the expectations for yourself, also set them for your team, for your VAs, for whoever you have making the calls.
Absolutely.
I think that about does it for today, with just some of our thoughts on the real truth, or the other side of cold calling that you don't typically hear when you get on YouTube. You really hear only the glory. You don't hear the actual grind part of it. So I just hope that this video brought you guys some sort of value, and somehow maybe you can use a couple of the tips to tweak your mindset a little bit to make cold calling a lot more bearable, and just help you get through to your next deal, your first deal, your next deal, or whatever deal it is. We really just hope that it helps set the proper expectations for you. Anyway, I think we're going to go climb into this mountain.
Yeah.
So we will catch you guys next week. See ya.
Bye.